Hello, I'm Sarah. This is Hardcover Hearts, and this is my week of reading wrap up where I talk about the books that I read this week, what I'm currently reading, and then potentially could read next week based on my mood. Another absolutely insanely busy work week, which didn't give me a lot of time to decompress and read, unfortunately. So I only completed 2 books, but let me tell you about them and then also kind of what's in play right now. The first one I finished was Esther Freud's new book, I Couldn't Love You More. Esther Freud has written a few books, but I haven't read any of them. This is my first time reading any of her work. And I really liked her style. Very straightforward, very filled a lot of details about characters, a lot of character building, which I really liked. And in this book, we have it's a multi-generational saga of 3 generations of women. And it's in Ireland as well as in London. And we kind of go back and forth between the areas. And it's really the story of these women in this one family and how the ties get severed. It's a lot about trust and expectations and the dreams of these women and love, familial love as well as romantic love and where they put their trust. I think, it's not necessarily like these are groundbreaking stories, but it was so well told. You really care about the characters. She does characters incredibly well in this book. And about relationships between these women and the men in their lives, between these women and their families, and what they want to do, what they want to be able to do, and how they're held back from that in a myriad of different ways. I thought it was really well done, as I said, and it makes me want to go back and read a little bit more about her writing and some of the things. I think she wrote Hideous Kinky, which was made into a movie. So I think she does have something in her writing about women and about mothers and motherhood, which absolutely came out in this book. I enjoyed it. I thought it was very, very well done. And then it's Women in Translation Month. And so I completed my first Women in Translation book that I started and stopped in this month. And this is the strange cover of Cora Sandel's Alberta and Jacob. This is just a really old copy. It doesn't even have, it looks like it says it was available in the UK, Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, and Canada. And Canada, it was 95 cents for this book. And the translator was Elizabeth Rokkan. Now, this was originally written in, published in 1962. And then this copy was redone in 1967. And these are kind of hard copies to get a hold of. They're very, very expensive. I don't have a complete set. I have a complete set, but they're all in different publishers and different forms. This is Panther, which always just annoys me. So I'm going to have to start looking for a complete set because I really did absolutely found this so charming and so atmospheric and so lovely. This is a coming of age novel set in Norway, but really northern Norway, near the Arctic. And we have a little village, and Alberta and her brother Jacob live in this village. And she's a teenager, and she's going through all of that teenage stuff, where she's just kind of awkward. She's also very introverted. She's a wallflower. She's an observer and doesn't always know the right thing to say. But wants to be out and about and wants to be around people and wants to see other people. And she's absolutely choking with misery in her home. Her parents don't like each other. And so there's always fighting, and the mother's always crying. The father's always irate about something, but they don't necessarily take it out on the children. But that disharmony is very difficult for our main character, Alberta, to deal with. And her brother, Jacob, is charming and effervescent, and he's like, and everybody wants him to be better than he can be. He's not very good at school. He really wants to just go out, and he has that burst of youthful exuberance and energy. And it really bums his parents out. They want better for him. They want him to settle down, but he keeps getting himself in trouble. She tries to help him in every possible way that she can, even to the point of hurting herself and getting herself into trouble to kind of protect and take care of him. What I really loved about this book is the way that atmosphere and class distinction work together in this book. And what I mean by that is her father's a magistrate, which is a position that comes with a little bit of social cachet, but they are poor. I guess he's made some bad investments, and he owes some money and is always paying back that loan. So they are trying to save and scrimp every way possible. And if you can imagine, the biggest cost is going to be in heating and heating their home. And so their home is not just emotionally oppressive and sad, it's also physically cold. It's also not a warm home. And she seeks out that warmth from other parts and other places in the village. And so we get to see all of these village characters, all these people who live in this small little town. And as she's kind of going about on walks and trying to keep herself warm and going to see friends and going to sit and observe people, a lot of it is that she's seeking warmth, both physical and emotional warmth and connection. And so this is the first of a trilogy, and I think it ended in the perfect manner. We see that she is ready to jump off into her life. I thought this was absolutely charming. I get why people love this so much, and I really look forward to reading the next one. Okay, so next is what I'm currently reading. I've been doing great with Proust, believe it or not. Because I've limited myself to just a few pages every day, I've been able to maintain, for the most part, maintain that and making some progress. I mean, slow and steady. And this is, for anybody new, I mean, if you've been watching this for a while, you know exactly what book this is. This is In Search of Lost Time, Volume 3, The Guermantes Way by Marcel Proust. Then I am continuing with The Hours by Michael Cunningham. So usually I like to, when I'm doing my reading in a day, I like to read for a little bit of one book, put it down, read a little bit from another, put it down. But I was so enchanted with Alberta and Jacob that I wanted to really stay in that world. It really captured me. And this one feels very similar. This feels like it's just a place I want to sink into. The writing is so sublime. It's lush, beautiful, very luxurious. And so I don't want to dilute it in any way. I want to stay with it. So I'm going to try to read more of this today, maybe even finish it, because it reads very quickly and it's not very long, but it's just very, very beautiful. I'm also reading a digital copy of Hard Rain for Women in Translation Month. This is by Irma Vettner and translated by Elsa Silke. This is Afrikaans writer. This is set in Tanzania, and it's the story of a photographer and a journalist. And so it's a love story, thriller type of story set in present day Tanzania. So already I'm enjoying it. It's a very different style than what I'm reading with everything else, so that feels great. Something to kind of really switch it up. Then I'm also doing the audiobook of The Mountains Sing. And this is by Nguyen Phan Quyen Me. And it's a beautiful story set in Vietnam. And we're following a young girl who is growing up during the height of the Vietnam War and learning about her life. And we're seeing a lot about what's happening in Vietnam, the land repossession, the fighting of all of these different factions, how it's affecting her and her family and her opportunities. So it's really beautifully written, but also jarring and a horrible reminder of all of the terror that went on with the Vietnam War. But right now it's a very impactful listen, so I'm enjoying it so far. And then I'm going to be starting later today my next installment in my Virginia Woolf project with Elizabeth the Bookish North. This is To the Lighthouse, and so we'll be checking in this week, so I need to get started on this. But other than that, very light week, which means a very short video today. I would love to know, have you read any of these? What are your thoughts? And I hope your reading has been going better than mine has. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, we are still in a global pandemic. Please make sure to follow all the procedures to keep yourself and your loved ones safe, including wearing a mask, maintaining safe social distance when you're with others, washing your hands frequently, and not touching your face. So that's it for me for now. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.